Welcome back, y'all. Today we're practicing backside big spins. Haven't done the backside big spin in a while. Well, haven't made a video on it in a while. It's been a couple years now, but I really like backside big spins. It's one of my favorite tricks. I can understand how it can be frustrating, and I wanted to go over that specifically. I think the number one problem on a backside big spin is just not getting just to shove it. You know, it almost seems like it wants to do a big flip or a backside flip sometimes, and it feels very, I know how like anxious it could make you to practice it and to have it almost flip around on you and you land primo, especially if you're trying to do it on a hip or a gap or something big. And the number one way to get rid of that is to just make sure that you kind of divide this trick into two. There's the Popshuvit part of it, and then the rest of it, which is really just completing the 180. The 180 I think is the easiest part of this, or at least it should be, because you should have your backside 180s down really good before you start doing this trick. It doesn't require much, really. I think the hardest part about this trick is really just catching the Popshuvit. But once you catch it, you're almost guaranteed that it's not going to flip over if you do it right. So I'm doing a few big spins here, and you'll notice that I usually catch it with the front foot. Of course, you know, you wind up, you have the scooping setup with the back foot, you complete the shove it, but the Popshuvit you're doing in a big spin is much different than a regular Popshuvit. So this is what a regular Popshuvit looks like. Still catching it with the front foot, of course, but it looks a lot different, and it's not really tweaked. You know, the board's just, once it's caught, the board is just basically flat in the air. And on a big spin, it doesn't look like that at all. So if that's the expectation you have when you're trying a big spin, it's not going to look or feel like that at all. So I went ahead and did a big spin, not a big spin, but I did a Popshuvit the way I would in a big spin, which looks really weird, but I just wanted to demonstrate that that's basically the catch you're looking for when you're doing a big spin, as opposed to a regular Popshuvit. So, and it makes sense this way because the board is going to be, you know, spinning faster, and you're going to be going in that direction. And it just makes sense to have it more inverted than flat the entire time. I think you're more susceptible to you know, landing primo or on the board upside down if you try to keep it flat. Because when a board does like a 360 shove or something like that, the trajectory of it is going to be inverted all the way, and you just want it to keep going along that path. A Popshuvit is just going to stop there at the 180-degree rotation, and you're just supposed to land back on it. And I think that's why it makes sense to have it go flat once you catch it, because that's it. You're just supposed to catch it and land back on it. You don't want it to do anything else other than that. But for a big spin, once you catch the Popshuvit, you're not done. You have to go another rotation. So it's not really done on its path, and that's why. So that's why it shouldn't be flat when you're catching the Popshuvit, if that makes any sense. I know this is like super in depth and kind of nerdy to talk about going over big spins, but it just makes a lot of sense to me. And the more I did this, especially like on stairs and stuff like that, it never became a problem again to have it flip upside down on me. It hardly ever does that anymore. That's my tip for big spins. I really enjoyed this one. I love doing big spins. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. I'll see you next time.